Hey guys, you're listening to the Driven Nutrition Podcast.
If you're not following these steps as a business owner, you're missing out on a huge opportunity to help your community.
It's about more than that. It's about me wanting to take my box to the next level.
Welcome to the Beyond Driven podcast from Driven Nutrition, where we talk about everything beyond supplements, exercising fast, and life in general. Pretty much anything that comes to mind.
For more information about Driven Nutrition, head over to www.drivennutrition.com.
This is Jason Rule with Driven Nutrition. I'm on the phone here with Matt Abrizio from Forever Fierce. Matt, thank you for joining me, and I'm excited to bring the message and what it is that you guys do out to our listeners and our affiliates.
Hey, Jason, thanks so much for having us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I want to get to how we were introduced in a minute, but I want to give listeners a little bit of background as far as the help that Matt, you don't even realize the help that you provided me. When was it? Back in, was it last year or the beginning of this year when you were on the Chris Cooper Two Brain Business podcast?
Yeah, I think that was in the fall. I think that was when it was early Saturday morning in the fall.
Okay. Right on. I couldn't remember. So one of the things that just absolutely shook me to the core was how amazingly parallel our two services are in terms of the level of service that we bring, the level of just help that we bring to the table to CrossFit gyms, us from the supplement side and that retail aspect, you from the clothing side and that retail aspect. I've got some specific questions about what it is you guys do, but I want to share first with what that resulted for us from a company, and this is what you're not aware of. We haven't talked about this prior. Okay. So when you were talking with Chris about walking gyms through that pre-sale process, providing the documentation, whether it was a Google form or having a sheet available to the members that then they can sign up for, and that hits home so hard because I'd been preaching that to our affiliates. But what I did was I spent a day, I just closed myself in the office, and I mapped out this sequence using Infusionsoft and the process that a gym could go through. So we just called it the pre-sale promo. We launched it, I believe, in November, which would make sense because that would probably coincide. You were on in October or November, somewhere around there.
Yep.
So what we did was we just talked, some months are a little bit leaner than others, November being one of those. Here's a process that you can go through, and literally all the gym had to do was click a button, and then the sequence started. And it was an introduction to the concept of pre-sale, which you preempted and went over so well in that podcast. But we were able to stretch that out, and we had some gyms do a couple $1,000s in pre-sales just from listening to that podcast.
Yeah, it's amazing. Just a simple, again, it's a simple strategy, and it's one of those things where you might say, well, no duh, I'm going to pre-order apparel, I'm going to pre-order supplements. But I think you'd be surprised with the amount of people who just panic and say, oh my God, I'm behind the ball, just give me 150 shirts. And it's like, well, wait a second. How many members do you actually have? I have 120 members. Then why are we ordering 150 shirts? I don't know, just in case, it doesn't make sense. So I think, the pre-order process is really, really huge, and it just takes the pressure off of owners. Again, the main thing for us that we see is that we want to free up cash flow for the owner, right? We understand that these orders can get expensive fast. You could spend $2,000 on t-shirts. You can spend $2,000 on supplements really fast. So I think the main thing is if you pre-order, have everything pre-ordered, you collect the payment up front, you don't have to front a ton of money. So that's something that has been a huge, huge benefit to some of our owners because, again, if you're billing people at the beginning of the month, maybe putting in a t-shirt order, on the 20th, that could really crush your cash flow. So we want to make things super easy and just stress-free. No pressure to order more. From the apparel side of things, we're in an industry where, to be honest, apparel vendors, other vendors and stuff like that, they're going to pressure you. Just order 30 more. What does it matter? It's the next price break. But for us, we're telling you, cut the quantity in half. A lot of these apparel vendors, they make their money on really big orders. For us, we don't care. We'll take a smaller order, 24-piece, a 13-shirt coach's order. We're cool with that. There's no pressure there. And I think the more you help, at least what we found, the more you help affiliate owners, the more they're going to, promote you out, recommend you to friends and other like-minded owners. And that's been huge for us. Again, we don't spend a ton of money on marketing and paid advertising. So the biggest way for us to grow is through word of mouth and the grassroots movement we have going on right now.
Right. And that was one of the things that resonated so strongly with me when I heard you talking and I heard your model was underselling. I undersell every new affiliate that comes on. I undersell. And from a supplement standpoint, it's such a clarity moment when you realize that as a gym owner, if you can introduce supplements to your members through the mindset of scarcity, that these are the only ones that we have. If you're going to be the first one to try it, you're going to be the first one to try it. And then when that member picks up a Disruptor and Amino and they see their buddy Jim, who is their lifting partner, pick up a creatine, they're going to get pissed off and they're going to be like, dude, they're going to realize that the gym is about to start outlifting them. So initially when a gym starts working with us, I always encourage, start slow. Here are the best practices. Here are the items that are selling the best. So like I said at the beginning of this call, the parallels that we were on as a company, and it could just be a matter of, the stars aligning, cream rising to the top. I don't know what it is, or just the best practices. We could just be in that realm of best practices right now. So it's really been fun to learn more about your company, the way that you approach it, and see how aligned our two brands are.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so we came across you because we've been always looking for a supplement vendor to work with because it helps us. We work very closely with our owners. There's phone calls. We're very collaborative with pricing. We sit down, we go over a plan with our owners every 4 or 5 months and say, what are we planning out the next 3 to 4 months? And, you jump on the phone with these people, they're going to talk about other places in their business they're having issues with. And the one thing that we've always found was supplements. They're forcing me to, I just put in a big supplement order and they require me to hit a minimum and they require this, they require that. And it's like, there's got to be someone out there who does what we're doing with the pre-order and the low stress and the low pressure sales model. And then when Brian from Two Brain Business connected us, it was like an epiphany. It was like, wait a second. So this guy's reliable. They're doing pre-orders. There's no pressure tactics. There's no sales tactics. They're giving owners all the stuff to be successful, whether it's the wording, the verbiage to get your coaches on the board, how to set up the tasting stuff and get the Bro Scoop program. Like those are all revolutionary things, especially from what I've experienced that, again, some of our clients just aren't aware of it. And that's where we want to partner together to put you out there in front of our clients. Because I think, again, this is all stuff that's going to benefit owners. This is all owner driven. This is all client driven stuff. This isn't benefiting us. It's all benefiting them to free up that cash, low pressure, low stress, and I think it's great for everyone involved. So again, we were super excited when we found someone like that. And the one thing I took away from you is I jumped on your email sequence and I saw the information you have about getting coaches on board, and that's something that has just been getting my mind spinning, and that's something I'm implementing this weekend. I'm getting our stuff all set up to get the coaches wording, because I think one thing owners know is that we have a very direct relationship with the owners, right? They're giving us the credit card information, they're paying off the invoice, but what we don't see is the other 100 or 50 people involved with the gym. The 5 to 20 coaches, the 100 to 300 members. We don't have to deal with them, but the owners do. And us and the owners, we have a lot of communication. We know everything we're doing, but the coaches, we always forget about them. What are we doing to get them on board? And here's a very common scenario, right? I'm a member and I ask the coach, hey, how do I get a t-shirt? How does this t-shirt fit? I have no clue. Go ask Matt when he gets in. It's like, well, wait a second. Like that is the member has 1,000 things going on after class. They're trying to get in a workout. They're trying to get home to feed the kids. They're trying to get home to make dinner. They're trying to get back to work from a lunch break. They don't have time to wait for the owner to get back in the office and ask about a t-shirt. So that's where, again, we're going to try and onboard coaches in a more efficient manner so that everyone's on the same page. Everyone knows how to order apparel. Everyone knows how to get their supplement order in. So there's no gatekeeper. You don't have to wait for Matt or Jason, the owner, to get in the building to place your order. We can all take the order right here. Here's the process for it, and here's what you can expect. That is huge, and I think a lot of owners sort of forget that if you don't coach the coaches, you might sell like 30% less than you thought you would. So it's important to onboard them, and that's been a huge, huge eye-opener for us, especially since we started talking to you.
Good. And the consistency is key. In fact, just yesterday I did a video that we're going to be posting up on our Facebook page as well as inside of our Building Retail for Affiliates Facebook group. We've got some of the things that I've seen that are best practices out on Facebook, posting about, and this goes for retail in general. I don't care if you're selling shirts, wrist wraps, supplements, blender bottles, whatever it is. If a CrossFit gym can keep a consistent message out on Facebook 2 to 3 times per week with the brand they're wanting their members to keep that brand front of mind 2 to 3 times per week, and then going deeper than that, going down and touching the owners, going to them once a week and saying, what is it that you take? What is it that you're ordering on this cycle? Why?
Yeah.
Just let that coach tell that story. Why do you like this T-shirt? How does it fit you? And the thing is, how genuine is that? One thing that I've come to embrace, and I've been involved in that, the tip of the spear is the coaches. They're the boots on the ground. So I've come to realize I don't need all of them. We don't need all of them. The owner doesn't need all of them. We only need a couple. We only need one initially, because we always have those early adopters, those guys that are going to pick up the brand, going to take it, embrace it, and love it. And then just through momentum, mass creates gravity. Gravity pulls more mass together. And then just through that process, we build that momentum. So I don't want to tell you that initially you're going to get all the coaches on board, but I'm going to say if you get that one maven, that one sneezer, that creates the viral effect inside of the gym, that's the plant that you water. Once you do that, eventually it may take 3 months before, I'm hard-headed. Some coaches are hard-headed. Oh, Jesus, another thing I need to pay attention to. But eventually, they're going to hear Jim talk about it so many times. Eventually, well, shit, I'll give this a try. Maybe there is something to that. So just the consistency of the message from the owner to the members, to the coaches, to the members.
Yeah,
and
I think as you said,
Go ahead.
No, I think as you said, I heard you say in the podcast, or you were talking to someone, or you wrote it, that your members are going to buy this stuff anyways. And most of them, you got to, as someone who's into fitness and someone who's been going to the gym for, almost 2 decades now and has just lived through all this stuff, whether it's the bodybuilding phase, whether it's whatever fitness movement, we know a lot more about this stuff than the average member might. And we always forget that. So your members are going to go out on websites and go do their research. They're going to go out and check stuff out, but it means a lot more when it comes from you. So if you're promoting this stuff, they're going to go out on Rogue Fitness and buy a CrossFit shirt. They're going to go to Invictus. They want to go buy one of their cool shirts. Go ahead, go buy it there. But we're offering that stuff in the gym that's specific to you, that's tailored for you, stuff that we've already vetted for you. You don't have to worry about, is this protein going to make me sick? Does this protein taste good? We're already doing that for you, So I think that's huge to have that recommendation, and can save your members a ton of time, money, and just stress and anxiety if they don't know, especially about supplements. I mean, I've been through them all, and I'm sure you've seen your fair share as well. And I mean, it's a tough world to navigate. You don't know what's quality. You don't know what tastes good. It's hard to read those, the reviews online. You don't know if it's a true review or someone they've paid to go on there and review it. So again, I think to have that stuff in the gym for the owners and coaches to vet that stuff for you as a normal member of a gym, that's really invaluable. I think that's a great thing to do. And to make it exclusive, like you said, you don't have to worry about competing on price on bodybuilding.com, on Amazon, on eBay, anywhere. I think it's such a unique model, and I just think it's amazing that you guys have especially as a brand in general, that you guys have the discipline to not say, oh boy, well, we're only doing the gym sales were a little slow this month. Let's crank the price down on Amazon and just start flooding the market. It's very easy to do that. I think it takes a lot of discipline and, just commitment to owners in general to not do that. That's really hard to do.
Well, thank you. I mean, from our standpoint, it's actually an easy decision, but that's because we're looking 5 years down the road. We understand who it is that's building our brand.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to go off on a tangent here because you were talking about other supplement companies. The main focus normally for supplement companies is, advertising, paying a boatload of money either in terms of sponsorships,
yep.
Sending out mass amount of samples, hoping that they strike the right nerve, they send the right message, they have the right look so they can go mass.
Yeah.
We're just the opposite. So if we have a slow month, I don't look out to, well, how can I go out and open that tap up?
Yeah.
Since we're so committed to our model, it's really been a lot of fun because every day when I come to work, my day is wrapped around how can I bring more value. So if we have a down month, that means I did a shitty job last month or the last 6 months in teaching the gyms the value of offering the products to the members or bringing a concise message that they can share with their members out there or with their coaches. So by constantly setting our, compass pointed north towards that goal of what value can we bring towards the gyms that help them just bring the message out there, sell more product, introduce it to members. So that's how that's our entire business model is wrapped up in that.
Yeah, I think that's extremely, extremely powerful. It's hard and again, it's just like us, we've been building this thing for almost a decade now as well. And it's like, it's hard. For us, especially, it's a lot of consistency. It's a lot of discipline. And like you said, if you do have a slow month, you just you can't panic. You got to stay the course and sort of look back at the last month or two. And, for us, one of the biggest things we do is we send out a new design idea every single month to our owners' newsletter. And again, that takes out a ton of time because what we were finding is that owners say, I love your stuff, I love this design, but I really do not have time to think about this. I need someone to do it. So, again, if we have a slow few months of sales, that means we're designing something that's missing the mark. So we got to go back, see what's going on, do a better job of saying why we're offering this design, what's the purpose behind it, what's the why behind it. And I think, you guys are doing a great job of that, and you said it best.
Well, one of the things that, you were the first retail expert that Two Brain had. And one of the things that struck me was, Chris talks about inventory.
Yep.
And one of the problems with having cash tied up in inventory is you can't pay your bills if it's wrapped up
tied up in inventory. Yep,
yeah, if it's
that's
tied
right.
up in inventory. So how do you grow as a business if you're constantly stuck in that cycle of, okay, I'm month to month. I either have to increase if I'm at 100 members and I want to increase my revenue by 20%, I have to gain 20 new members and not lose any, or I need to find another source.
Yeah. Sure. The fastest way to grow your business is with your existing clients. I follow the Story Brand podcast. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it, but they really helped us a lot. Again, it's just Story Brand, Brand. And it's by a really famous author. His name's Donald Miller. And he does a great job of just going into very clear, concise marketing strategies that literally anyone can implement, whether you're Coca-Cola, whether you're CrossFit ABC, whoever, it doesn't matter. Basically, with the Story Brand podcast, the number one thing he always talks about on the podcast is the fastest way to grow your business is with your existing members. Okay, so and growth internally is much easier than externally. Again, whether it's offering more services like personal training, seminars, supplements, T-shirts, that's going to be the fastest way to grow your business. So again, you're probably going to spend 10 times as much as if you're going to try to attract 20 new members, 30, 40, 50 new members. So that's, again, we're just offering another tool in the toolbox. Again, T-shirts, It's just another quick way to increase revenue per member, and it's the same thing with supplements. It's the same thing with specialty courses and seminars. So I think that's an awesome way to think about that. Like you were just saying, where if you're looking at your numbers and you're trying to look at growth, how are we going to grow? If I'm telling an owner or any business, I'm telling them, look internally before you say, I need to run Facebook ads. I need to, run a crazy challenge that gets all these people in the gym. Try and look internally. It might be staring you right in the face before you're thinking you need to spend X, Y, Z on all this, external ad campaigns and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's low hanging fruit, and in marketing terms and sales terms, the basic foundation of what that story brand is talking about is the first sale is the hardest sale. The second sale is the easiest. The third is even easier than that. And then it progressively gets easier. And one of the things that I want to point out that I think is so beautiful about offering shirts and apparel that has your branding on it from gyms that we haven't touched on yet is the clubhouse effect. CrossFit is the only business that I've ever seen where a business owner can reach out to its clients and say, guys, we're moving. And the majority of those clients are going to show up. They're going to help that business move, relocate. Somebody's going to bring beer. Somebody's going to bring pizza, and it's going to be a damn party. That just doesn't happen. That doesn't happen with most friends, much less any other environment that's a business. So
it's crazy.
Your members, anybody that's listening to this, your members truly want you to be successful.
Yeah.
They have bought in. So do not be afraid to sell them something. If you don't want to sell supplements, put your logo on shirts, put your logo on apparel, do something, but get that out there because they want to support you. They want to brag about you. They want to tell their members about you. Yeah. And they need you to make money. The last thing they want is a business that they absolutely love, run by people who they just love beyond belief, to go out of business or struggle financially because they are scared to make a profit.
Yeah. And again, it's not a bad thing. Everything we're offering here is very ethical, nothing deceiving, anything like that. So you're right, no one should be bashful or, again, if you do need permission, we're giving you permission. Please go out and sell this stuff to your members. Trust me, there's thousands and thousands of boxes who make this decision every day, and they do this stuff. So people want to be part of your club, and this is part of it.
There you go. There's your permission.
So I got 3 questions here that were sort of like, these are just sort of 3 questions I like to ask every business owner about, like, how did you figure out you wanted to start this? So the first question is, when did you first realize that retail model for gyms needed to change? I got a crazy story that's out of this world about how we came across that, but, I'm curious from the supplement perspective, like, did you walk into a gym, see all this extra stuff, notice most of the whey protein's expired, people aren't moving this stuff, or how did you figure out that, you need to offer a different model to owners?
We were a little different. We were a little different beast because we had a very strong incumbent when we came into the market. There was really only one, Silver Bags. I'm not going to mention names. They were treating commodities like they were an uber high priced point exclusive thing that was so amazing. And that only works for so long. I have an adage, pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered. You can only charge so much for a commodity before people realize it's a commodity, protein, creatine, amino acids. So in order to be on a competitive playing field, in a competitive marketplace, which is supplements, you have to have a price. You have to have a price point that's competitive. So when we started working with gyms, I was hearing things coming from their mouths like, well, I just can't build up inventory. The minimums are high. And I'm sitting there thinking the only reason a company would have minimums is because they want you to run out so your customers then go to their website to buy the product. I mean, I still get pissed off thinking about it. So when I started looking at that, I also had these gym owners saying, we need to make a profit. But we're competing against the websites. We're competing against local retailers. Right now, we're sending our members in, and they're getting 20% off. I know that I'm losing out on that revenue. Mm-hmm. So we took a look at the landscape, and I was telling these members flat out, look, because I don't know if I forgot to mention this, but they were telling me, look, I don't care if I make a profit. I just want good supplements that I can tell my members to take.
Yeah.
I was telling them flat out, look, dude, if you dropped 40 grand or 50 grand or whatever you did to buy the rig, put your name on the lease, you better start figuring out a way to make money. If not, somebody's going to come along, do it, and run you out of business. And then I started stumbling on to that clubhouse effect, the members wanting gyms to be successful, and start putting all of that together. So if we can create, I went to them and said, look, if we can create a line that's exclusive to affiliates, what do you need? And they listed it, no minimums. We need training on how to sell the products. We need to be able to tell our coaches how to sell the products. We need to be able to have a lot of flavors and availability. And above all that, we need the best quality that we can get. So because we're going to take it ourselves. If it's something we believe in, we're going to tell our members to take it.
Yeah. That's huge. Yeah, that's a huge point as well that people forget. You're not promoting, Driven because it's the cheapest, because it's whatever, it's high quality stuff that, again, you're going to put in your body. And especially with all these nutritional challenges and stuff, the last thing you want to do is promote low quality stuff when people are really trying to get their act together here. So I think that's why it just makes sense.
Right. Yep. So that's it. That's how we stumbled on it.
Yeah. So what are let's say you're in front of a TED Talk, right? And you only got 15, 20 minutes. What are some of your golden rules? Like, if you're going to have a quick conversation with someone, what are the 3 recommendations you have about getting retail into gyms? Like, what are your 3 golden rules for retail at the gym?
Number 1, buy it yourself.
Yep.
Buy it yourself. Put your money where your mouth is. Take the product. If it's something you believe in, offer it to the people that you care about and that trust your opinion. That's number 1. 2, tell people about it. Consistently keep the message in front of your members and consistently keep that message in front of your coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's on social media. That's in your talks. That's talking before class. The importance of it, if you're doing a nutrition challenge, create a common thread that goes through your message that can be consistent. So number 2 is talk about it. Keep that message consistent. The third one is something that I've seen so many gym owners fall flat because they're scared to ask for help. As I've mentioned before, your members want you to be successful. They want you to be able to pay rent, to create a good life for yourself and for your family. Ask for help. Tell them. Tell your coaches. Verbatim. Guys, this is an important part of our business going forward, as well as guys, this is an important part of our business for the rest of the year and beyond. This is how we're going to grow. This is how we're going to create new positions to help make you better athletes. This is how we're going to buy new equipment and potentially grow into a new space. You don't have to buy these supplements from us, but I'm going to ask that you try them. If you do try them and you like them, I promise to do a good job making them available to you, keeping them in stock, and bringing some education so you know how to take them and how they can benefit you.
So those 3 rules are really great, solid golden rules for every gym owner. That can apply to really anything. That can apply to supplements. That can apply to apparel or anything you're offering, whether it's a seminar or something else. And the last question I'd like to ask all business owners, because it's really, really important for us, is what is a good fit for you? What are you looking for in an owner? What are you looking for in a new gym? We're very, very selective on who we work with to make sure we engage in a sustainable relationship. What are some of your core values of stuff you believe in with relationships with gym owners?
Oh man, that's a good one. I guess one of the first ones is willingness to work and put in the work, gain the knowledge. I like telling the story of, if a thoroughbred walks through your doors and they have the potential to be an athlete. They have the potential to go to the games, regionals. They're just that special. You can teach them everything they want to know. You can teach them how to squat, how to move, Olympic lifts, how to eat, how to train. But it comes down to it. That person still has to do the work. They still have to study. It doesn't matter if they're a genetic freak or they have 500 members and millions of dollars flowing through the doors every year. If they don't do the work, and if they just, and I'm not scared to use this term anymore. If all they do is phone it in, if somebody thinks they can drop $1,000 or $100 or $5,000 on supplements, set them on the shelves, and members are going to beat a path to their door, they're wrong.
Yeah.
It takes some work, it takes some effort and some training to initiate these products into your community. And on the other side of that, like I mentioned, buy the supplements. We don't send out free samples.
Yeah.
If I did, that would be very irresponsible for me, and I believe it would be doing a disservice to the affiliates that have worked with us over the last years, as well as our future affiliates, because if I did that, I would have to raise my prices substantially.
Yeah.
So I tell this story. Samples don't sell product. If I send you a sample, Matt, you may or may not try it.
Yeah.
Now, this is supplements, not shirts. You may or may not try it. It may get stuck between the cracks in your seat. So if I call you up, because if I spend $20 or $15 or $50 to send you free product, I'm going to follow up. And if you haven't tried it, you're going to be embarrassed because you lost it. You didn't pay attention. It isn't on your radar anymore. So I guess that circles back to, we work with people who want to take that next step, who are ready and need to do a better job.
Yeah, those are two really key things, and I think the work part of it is a really big deal. You do have to create, because again, you're not just promoting something. You're creating that scarcity. You're creating that. You're driving demand. If you don't drive demand and you don't stimulate demand, it's just basic economics here. They're not going to take action. There's a lot of, believe it or not, there's a lot of other brands and stuff competing for your members' interest outside of the gym as soon as they leave there. So, you're lucky enough to get a really solid hour and a half with them. Make the most of it. Definitely create that demand, stimulate it, because once they leave there, they're going into their own little world. So I think that's a really key part there.
And those are great points. I want to touch on that for just a second, because you said something that really brought a memory back. I have a good friend of mine that owns another supplement company, a big one. He asked me how we did it. How did you get so entrenched inside the community? And I just told him, you can't fake being fit. You can't be an aesthetic athlete, go to a CrossFit gym and get your ass handed to you at a workout and get respected for being an athlete. They're going to pat you on the back and say, great job. But in order to say you can do it in this market, you have to do it. And you have to prove it over and over and over again. And you have to create raving fans to the point that other owners are bragging about what it is you're doing. So we rely on that. We bring that to the table. So what he told me was, he said, I threw away $1 million last year marketing at CrossFitters.
Yep.
And he said, I haven't done a fraction of what you've done in terms of getting a message out there. And I said, you can't buy it. You can't fake it. You can't fake success. Not when everything is so real. So as those members are leaving, they're getting, the reason I wanted to circle back on your point, Matt, was they're getting pounded with dozens of brands spending well over $1 million trying to sell them product.
Yeah.
All a coach and all an owner has to do is try a product, believe in it enough to recommend it to their members. Their members will buy it. CrossFit gyms have such a massive competitive advantage that they don't even realize. They're not competing against supplement stores because supplement stores can't compete on that type of relationship. They can't. It's not even fair.
Yep.
So they have to embrace it.
I agree there. It's amazing. Again, they do have a little more intimate relationship. You don't realize it, but when you run those smaller group classes, even if you have a bigger group class, you still get to know people. You still get to call them by their name. Hey, great to see you again. That goes a long way, because I'll tell you right now, after we hang up the phone, I'm going to go grab lunch. I go grab lunch every day or every week at this one place. They still don't know my name. They never say, oh, hey, great to see you. But you know what? It's one of those things that's a loyalty thing. If they were to say, hey, Matt, great to see you. Great to see you. Hope to see you next week too. It goes a long way, And I think CrossFit gym owners can do that too. It's very easy to do. And when you build that loyalty, again, like you said, the supplement, whether it's, your chain supplement store, they don't have those inroads like gyms do, especially when they're there
close.
3, 4, 5 days a week. So
no, not even close. Now, you've asked me some questions. You mentioned something on the call earlier, and I heard it during your podcast with Chris. I want to circle back on it. So your monthly newsletter, your designs of what's working, how are you doing that, and what's taking place there?
Yeah, for sure. So we maintain a very small private newsletter for owners only. I only send it out once a month and maybe another reminder if that, so maximum of 2 times a month. And each month we're being proactive and we're sitting down as a company and saying, okay, what are some of the big events coming up? What are some of the big themes we think gym owners should do? Because, again, one of the biggest issues that I've seen is that owners will say, look, I love the shirts. The members love the shirts. They buy them up. But the issue is I just don't have time. And every gym owner I've ever worked with, they always say, I'm not creative. This isn't my strong suit. So, again, this is what we're doing all day. And what we do is in that newsletter, we send out a different theme or item to offer out to your members, because one of the other things we see too is gyms will just keep reordering the same logo shirt and same logo shirt and same logo shirt. And then everyone's got it. And then that's when they get stuck with inventory, because everyone's got it, but you just keep reordering the same thing. With us, we're sending out a new theme. So we're staying ahead of the Open, right? So we'll tell you it's time to get going on the Open. It's time to get going on these shirts. It's time for St. Patrick's Day stuff. It's time for Murph. It's time for summer themed, patriotic themed stuff. So again, we don't see anyone out there who's doing that right now. And that's been a big value creator for us, because again, it's no cost to the owners. We're more than happy to do a free mock-up for you that's specifically tailored to your gym, and to see if there's demand for it. Because again, I don't want to force you into something that you don't have demand for right now. Maybe the St. Patrick stuff isn't big with your community. That's fine. But maybe the Murph stuff, maybe sell 150 Murph shirts, maybe sell 200 Murph shirts. So again, we're just keeping the ideas and variety fresh. So we're just taking stuff off a gym owner's plate. Again, you're not going to order every month, and that's not the pressure for it. It's just when you do see the idea that really resonates with you, like, oh man, I would love this patriotic shirt. I would love this patriotic theme. Our members would really love some type of like summer surfer type shirt. That's where the value is. And again, that's what's going to stimulate creativity, because again, gym owners just don't have time. They're worried about coaching their members and growing their business. They don't have time to think about their next apparel line item. So again, I'll send you the link to where people can sign up for that. And if they shoot me an email, matt@foreverfierce.com, I'll get them signed up on there. And again, it's free. There's no pressure. If you want to take a look at some stuff we've done in the past, I'm more than happy to show them or get a free mock-up in place. So,
how about, can we do this? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yep.
Which I'm good at making people uncomfortable for anybody that knows me. So today is May 25th.
Yep.
This weekend, we have, so many gyms out there that are going to be doing Murph. What have you done specifically, and what did you do? Let's reverse engineer Murph right now on how you create a successful model for your gym. I have no idea what you've done, so I genuinely want to hear this.
Yes, for sure. So what we're doing is at the beginning of April, actually. We're actually planning – I like to work ahead, because it's important to plan out Murph, and especially with how big that event has just become. It's the unofficial CrossFit Christmas, right? That's the day where everyone comes together, and that's a day really meant for the box. So people do a barbecue, people do some type of event, people have veterans come in, tell their story. So I think it's become some type of official holiday for CrossFit athletes. So what we've done is in April, we're getting designs in front of people saying, here are 3 or 4 suggested designs. These are plug and play. They're popular with other gyms. They've sold at other gyms. Let's get these in front of you. Show some members. Take a vote. Which one do you guys like best? And we'll roll this out there for athletes. So we're planning out way ahead of time so that I'm not waiting today I'm not sweating it out for UPS to deliver boxes, right? Like all those shirts are already in hands. They're already good to go. You don't have to worry about shirts. You've taken the pre-order. They're already paid for. The only thing you have to do is go pick up hamburgers and hot dogs for your barbecue. So, again, we're working ahead of time, and we're not going to spring stuff on you last minute like, oh, no, this slipped past us. We forgot about Murph. Do something now. Like, we're not going to spring last-minute stuff on you. We're going to get you set up well ahead of time so that you don't have to wait for it. So, again, for us, it's mainly getting 3 or 4 ideas in front of owners where, again, they don't have to worry about the super custom artwork. They have to worry about, oh, well, there's a member in the gym who does our T-shirt artwork. There's no more of that. You just handle it all through us. We want your feedback. We'll gladly tailor it for you, whatever you want to see, but there's no more, let me get the artwork from the member, send it to the T-shirt guy. Can the T-shirt guy actually print this? No. You just send it all to us. We're going to handle everything internally. And, again, the mock-ups are free. And, again, we just like to keep it super proactive and stress-free.
Right on. So, in specific to Murph, other than the April email with 3 to 4 test designs, what else did you send out to the people who took advantage or did it? Like, walk me through that process. Because how do you create a successful system starting in April, ending probably this week or last, right?
Yeah, for sure. So we're laying out the timeline too. We're saying, it's April 1st. Let's get a design in place. Between the back and forth or whatever, it might take 3, 4, 5 days to get it set. Why don't you introduce and build hype for this shirt for 2 to 3 weeks, saying, Murph is coming. Let's start. If you can't hit pull-ups, let's start with this pull-up progression. Here are the shirts we're doing for Murph. Like, build it up. All the stuff that goes into Murph, start promoting all the stuff that goes into it. Murph prep, and then the T-shirts too. But don't release the T-shirts until the last week of April and the first week of May. We tell people only leave that window open about 10 days. And like I said, we kept that window open until May 7th. May 7th was the cutoff date. And that's plenty of time to land those orders. But again, we outline that timeline for owners so they don't have to play guessing games in terms of, well, when should I submit it and when should I promote it? We're telling you when to do that because it's based off of, our recommendations are based off of thousands of orders at this point. And we know if you leave the order open too long, no one's going to take advantage of it. Too short, not enough people will see it. So we laid out that timeline of 2 weeks to get that shirt pre-ordered and just turn into an event, stimulate demand, show people what's on the horizon. And we're doing that right now with summer items as well. So, but that's it. Just laying out that timeline, just handling as much as I can to support, where I can't be in your gym, but just doing as much as I can to make you could just copy and paste stuff. That's the goal. That's our goal.
Right on. So cool. So, by creating a finite amount of time that somebody can order, you're basically saying, you're either going to get it or you're going to miss out. So if you're going to be at this workout, even if you're not going to be at this workout, you need to support this cause. You need to get this shirt, and you have to do it inside of this time frame. So I apologize. I like putting people on the spot because just like regionals, people didn't start working out, the people going to Tennessee this week, people didn't start working out a month ago to get ready for regionals. It's the work over the last 2 to 3 years. So by putting somebody on the spot, like, you can't take it. You can't make up what you just said. So, that validation and showing the simplicity of flowing through, 2 months prior, you send out 2 to 3 test designs in April. You talk about Murph prep. You build up the hype. You set the specific time frame that somebody has to execute it on. And then when did you deliver the shirts?
The shirts were all most of them have been delivered last week. We have some last minute ones that got delivered this week, but I would say literally 98% of them are all delivered. Last ones are being delivered today and tomorrow. So again, I think that's the goal. We're more than happy to put stuff on an expedited timeline for those who got a late jump on it. But again, I'm worried about the bulk majority of people, and I could safely say that all those orders are in. They've been in hands, and We haven't had any issues with them. So that's our goal,
Nice.
That's the main thing for us.
Nice. So do you send it then directly to the gym and then they disperse them from there?
Yeah, so we can send directly to the gym. We also, for some of our larger clients, we do like website. You can put the shirt on our website and we ship directly to the client, or we can ship directly to the gym, and all you have to do is distribute from there. So we have two different models, and it just depends, what works best for you. We'll tailor that online pre-order solution, whatever we can do to make your life easier. Website, a piece of paper sign up, a Google form, we'll make all that stuff for you guys.
Nice. Well, Matt, congratulations on setting up a really beneficial model, and I think that really ties into why you guys have created the success that you have, because you bring so much benefit and you've done so much work, and there's no reason for a gym to reduplicate over and over again those best practices that so many people have already vetted. So congratulations, man, on setting that up. I'm really glad you're welcome. I'm really glad that we were able to connect, and I look forward to seeing where this relationship goes. And I'm glad we were able to get the message out there to our listeners and to our gym.
Yeah, for sure.
That being said, how can we find you? Where can we find your information?
Yeah, for sure. You can check out our website at foreverfierce.com. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram. You can shoot me an email, Matt, M-A-T-T, at foreverfierce.com. Again, we'll pretty much work with whatever gym. We work with one of the largest boxes in the world with CrossFit NYC. We work with, basic garage gyms all the way down to 13 people. So it doesn't matter what size you are, how big, how small, we're more than happy to work with you. And if you have a local apparel solution right now and you think they're not helping you out, or you just want to bounce an idea off of me, I'm more than happy to share our knowledge, our information, and just some basic, if you need a new piece of advice, just shoot me an email. I'd love to help you guys out and just get you pointed in the right direction. It really doesn't matter if you're working with us or not. We just want to get you pointed in the right direction, make sure this solution works for you, and whatever you're doing really works for you.
Awesome. I hope everybody listening takes advantage of that offer. Matt, thank you for joining me today. If there's anything else, please make sure to reach out. Let me know how I can help there with your company, and we'll continue growing together.
All right, and absolutely. So the other thing, too, though, is that we are actually going to take this and we're going to repost this on our podcast feed. So you explain how our folks can get in touch with you.
Right on. Very cool. Thank you for that offer. So drivennutrition.net.com, social media, Facebook, Instagram, /Driven Nutrition. You can reach me at jason@drivennutrition.net. If somebody does want to get set up to be an affiliate, the best, I don't want to say the easiest way because there's really only one way, is you need to go to drivennutrition.net. Up in the top right-hand side of the website, it says Driven Affiliate Area. And one of those links under there, it says Become a Driven Affiliate. On there, we have a frequently asked questions page, which fields most of the questions somebody may have that we just don't have time to go over today. But that allows us to put you into the system. From there, you're going to schedule a call with me so we can find out how we can help best, because every gym is different. And the other thing is we're going to vet that you are, in fact, a gym, that you're not, a member or a coach trying to get behind the scene access, or a local store trying to compete against you who's been building up a brand. From there, we throw a switch. You have access to wholesale pricing, and you can start ordering. So look forward to talking with you.
Awesome. And for those who have listened to the end of the podcast, I got a special bonus offer. So if you are coming from Driven and you are coming from Jason and his team and you're a referral from them, we're going to throw in a free banner for every single order that's placed. It doesn't matter how big the order is, 13 shirts, 1,300 shirts, we don't care. We're going to throw in a free banner, and we'll throw in some other freebies as well. So if you did listen to the end of the podcast, shoot me an email. Let me know how we can throw in a free customized banner for your gym. Again, it's not going to be a Forever Fierce one. It will be something that's 100% tailored to you, custom artwork and all. So if you did listen to the end of the podcast, we got a bunch of freebies and stuff that we're going to throw in on each order. And, again, we really appreciate it. We're looking forward to partnering with you, Jason, and all you guys. And again, this has just been so relieving to find someone who we can know, trust, and send our clients to someone who truly cares about them. It's really relieving to find that.
Same here, Matt. Look forward to working with you.
All right, Jason, thanks so much.
For more information about Driven Nutrition, head over to www.drivennutrition.com.